Just like his dad, wants nothing but win. Here are the highlights of the Bandits, 8 to 11 years old, and there was some action, Ski.
Definitely. This is where these guys are going to learn the craft, especially when you see these type of accidents. Down in turn 2, there's a spin. Look at Matt Martin in the Gatorade number 2 car. He works his way right through, keeping his eyes up the racetrack. Unfortunately, a big collision there between Houston Mize and Jordan Pascal.
I cut down on somebody and spun out. Somebody thought they had to catch up to the leaders. Came around flooring it and hit me. Racing deals.
I love these young guys. Already got the racing lingo down, just one of those racing deals. And we had a great finish. Here is the 91, John Gottsacker and Travis Pennington in the 01. What a finish.
I got you.
Look at this.
Photo finishes, a little bit of everything going on tonight.
Well, Gottsacker just does edge out Pennington for the win. And you see Matt Martin with a top 10. Also, Brandon McReynolds comes home 10th. That's in the Bandit division. Now, highlights from the Outlaw division. 17 and over this age group. These guys a little older, a little more experienced. And even the experienced guys can make a mistake or two.
These cars so short, one little bump from behind and you're going to loop it. But 20 horsepower V-twin, basically a lawnmower engine, one gear all the way around. But they carry some serious corner speed.
The spin was by Brandon Keene, and they're out in front. That is the 83 of Jeffrey Singletary. Comes home with the win. Scott Knox finishes second, and Rick Godfrey Sr. was third. That in the Outlaws division. And now it's time for another one of our featured races of the evening. Here are the young guns in the Bandolero division. These are ages 12 through 16. A lot of talent as we look through the starting lineup. I'm looking forward to this race.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about the young guns, Mike, is that this is when the guys start to get a little bit cocky.
Well, we'll see here as they get ready to take the start. Green flag is out. Matt Lassiter on the inside in the 26. It looks like Lassiter is going to lead the opening lap, but look behind him.
You see these cars bouncing a little bit more than the other classes on the front straightaway. The suspension set up a little bit stiffer. These guys have got it matted all the way around the circuit, set the suspension stiff for corner grip.
That red and white car, that is Chris Cable, who's out in front. There's a spin, and some of those barrels go flying. The 8 of Rick Godfrey Jr., the 81 of Brandon Hilton, and the 42 involved in that. There is a caution out. We're just 2 laps in.
Going to be an advantage for Rogers in the 16 car, and Chase Scott, who's an 11th grader in the field here tonight. Take a look at the replay. Look at the 25 of Brad Griffin. He throws it sideways, throws a curveball into the rest of the field. And as you called it earlier, all 3 come around, and there's just one car out there that might not make the restart. That'd be the 19 of Jason Haynes out of Concord, North Carolina.
And we got more coming up. We're back under green. That red and white car out front, that is Chris Cable out of Griffin, Georgia. Boy, Ski, he's got some pressure right on his tail.
I don't know if I'd want to be leading this race right now. There's just too many guys behind that want to get around the leader. Cable goes wide right there.
There's Chase Scott on the inside.
Sweet move. He keeps it in tight. Cable's going to fight back, though. He doesn't want to give up the lead.
And Chase Scott is going to take that lead away from Cable. So now Chase Scott out of Concord, North Carolina, has taken over the lead in this young gun event.
Nice slide onto the front straightaway out of Chase Scott. We'll see if he can pull that off. He's going to try to defend inside. Cable goes down low, gets a little bit of dirt. He'll take over the lead.
But watch 25, Brad Griffin on the inside. This is one aggressive driver, as we saw in that spin a moment ago. But Cable is holding him off right now. Scott is on the outside, and there is Griffin. He slides, little too much speed in that turn, and enabled Cable to hold on to the lead. Really impressed with this young Georgia driver in that red and white car. He is got a battle for the lead as they're 3 wide now. Wow.
Definitely the hottest race tonight by far. You saw Griffin get onto the front straightaway and slide it too much. Mike, you need to maintain as much momentum. Don't scrub it off with the brakes. 4 wide now.
Watch out for Brandon Rogers. We haven't called his name. He's in that 16 car, and it is Rogers who is on the inside of Cable. My, what a race. Griffin maintains the lead.
Big slide again out of Brad Griffin. He's getting used to contact on the straightaway.
That was Rogers who bumped Griffin a little bit and said, hello, I'd like to take the lead. And that's just what he does as they head to the back stretch. It is the 16, Andrew Rogers out of Indian Trail, North Carolina. He's out in front. And you were right. This definitely is the best race of the night.
Chase Scott going to make a work of it right now, going after Rogers. Look at the speed out of Rogers. If he can maintain that line and not get any contact from behind. Look at the stretch here.
Andrew Rogers, now your leader, says his hero is Ryan Newman. Says he's the best as far as he's concerned, and that's who he's patterned his driving after. Well, young Mr. Rogers, you're doing a great job yourself.
Ooh, narrow miss with Rogers getting around a lap car there. These four finally spread out to the point where they're not trading paint anymore. But Rogers hung back in fourth place, made his work right through the field.
Andrew Rogers, he'll be in the 10th grade at Sun Valley High School in Indian Trail, North Carolina. And this guy is showing something on the racetrack right now.
He gets boxed one iota and has to get out of the throttle. Chase Scott's going to, the 74 car is going to be all over the backside of him. And right now, clear sailing. You see there's still quite a dice between Scott and Griffin back there in the 74 and 25.
Ski, our field was so bunched up just a couple of laps ago. Now they spread out just a little bit. They had a little bit of a spin, and what a great move. Brandon Hilton spun in the 81, and Rogers, he had to slow down a little bit, got out of the throttle, and here comes Scott. He wants to take advantage, but now back in the gas is the 16 of Andrew Rogers. They're side by side.
Chase Scott going to make an honest race with Rogers. They're side by side all the way around. That's tough to do, especially as they head through the traffic.
And there is now a caution as one car has stalled out on the racetrack. And I think all of us need just a moment to catch our breath here. Some great racing by these young guys.
Let's see what started this chain reaction. That was a 69 of Kurt Taylor, cuts out right in front of Brandon Hilton out of Concord, North Carolina. They did a great job to avoid a big melee there, but guys are sliding all over the place. Here we go, back under green, 9 laps to go, Mike.
And remember, all these guys 16 years of age or younger. And what heads-up driving on the part of Chase Scott and Andrew Rogers to avoid that spin.
Rogers gets the whole shot on the restart. Chase Scott in second place.
And that's Brad Griffin now in third. What happened to Chris Cable? He dropped way back, Steve.
Chris Cable just didn't get a launch on the start line. You can roll up to it pretty good. He's just a little bit delayed on his throttle application.
Andrew Rogers is your leader, but Chase Scott wants to take that away. Tried to make a move on the back straight, wasn't able to do it. Rogers doing a great job, as we've seen time and time again in this racing here on this quarter mile. Blocking is absolutely the key, and Rogers is doing a great job of it.
Closing stages of the race, Mike. We'll see if Andrew Rogers can maintain his line and maintain his momentum, as he's got Chase Scott with a serious chase on his tail.
Andrew Rogers, who began his racing career 3 years ago, going to try to hold it down for one more lap. Loves to race go-karts, but here in the Bandolero Young Gun Division, he's got one more turn to make. Chase Scott is running out of time, and it is going to be Andrew Rogers who comes away with the win. And definitely, Ski, what was our best race of the night?
No doubt about it. What a happy driver he is. I'm sure at the start of this race, having to work his way through the traffic, he never would have imagined that he'd be in the lead at the end of this one.
Boy, a great show put on by these young guys. And give Chase Scott some credit. He was second, Brad Griffin third, and Chris Cable ran a strong race as well tonight.
Well, we've caught up with another feature winner here tonight on the Summer Shootout Series. Andrew Rogers winning in the Young Guns Bandolero division. Tough race out there tonight, Andrew. Talk about the last few laps.
Oh, yeah, all that competition was real strong, and I had a little bit of a lead on them, and then I saw that caution come out, and that was the last thing I wanted to see, because they were all real tough out here.
Did you have your car feeling correct for you all night long? Did it feel comfortable from the get-go?
Oh, yeah, the car felt strong. It turned right down to the bottom, and it was strong up off the corners.
Andrew Rogers, a feature winner tonight here at Lowe's.
And a great performance by that youngster from Indian Trail. The Legend Pro Division next.